Postman here. After opening the Postman, and on the top right side you will see the login and the create account. So already I have already logged in into the Postman tool. So you can create the new account and then you can sign in, or else you can use your Gmail account for signing into the Postman. So this is all about the how to download and install the Postman and how you can sign in into the Postman tool. So let's start creating the collections and folders. So why we are creating the collections and folders is we can organize our API requests properly. So that is the main intention behind creating the collections, and inside the collections we are going to create the multiple folders. So let's start creating the collection first. Then I will discuss which API we are going to use for this entire course. So you can directly go ahead and click on this plus icon. So it is showing create new collection, or you can click on this create collection. So I am clicking on this plus icon. So here you can specify the collection name. So we are using the booking API, so that's the reason I'm specifying the collection name as booking API. So that's it. So inside this booking API, I'm going to create the two folders. You can select this particular collection and you can click on three dots. And here you can select the add folder option and you can specify the name of the folder as. First, I will create the positive API requests. So that's the reason here I'm specifying positive endpoints. That's it. So similarly, I will add one more folder called negative scenario. Here I will give the folder name as negative scenarios. So that's it. We are done with creating the collections and then folders. Now let's discuss the API which we are going to use it for this entire course. You can go to this URL. So don't worry about this URL. I will provide this URL in the video description. You can find it there. So this is a booking API. While creating a resource, we will be passing the first name, last name, total price, deposit paid, booking dates, check-in and checkout. And at last we have the additional needs. So this is a simple booking API where we can provide all the details, and at the end it will return us the booking ID. So let's go to the Postman. We will create the first get request in the Postman now. So that will returns all the booking IDs from the server. So you can select the folder positive endpoints and you can click on this plus icon, and here you can mention the type of request. So we are using the get request so that we can read all the booking IDs from the server. So here we have to specify the URI. So here I'm entering https:// followed by Restful -booker .herokuapp.com/booking. So this URI returns me all the booking IDs from the server. So before I click on this send, I will save the request into this particular folder. That is the inside this particular collection, and inside this particular folder I need to save the request. So you can click on this arrow and you can select the save as, and here you can specify the request name. So here I'm specifying the request name as get booking IDs. So this API returns all the booking IDs basically. Then here you can select the collection. So currently we have the only one collection, so that's the reason by default it is displayed the booking API. If there are multiple collections in your Postman, here in this particular window you'll be seeing all those collections. So here I'm selecting the collection. Then inside this particular collection we have created the two folders. I want to save this particular request inside the positive endpoints. I have selected the folder, that's it, and you can save it. So we have created the get request which will returns all the booking IDs. So let's click on the send. So let us look at the exactly the which URL we have used, whether URL is properly or not. So let me just add the over here. So that's it. I have saved the API request now. Then I will click on send. So if you look at this response, we got the 200 status code, and also we got the response body and response headers also we got it. And if you look at this response body, we have the multiple booking IDs. Sorry. So here you can see all the booking IDs over here. And on the right side, you will see the time. Like it. So this is a 2.13 seconds. This is the total time taken by the server to respond to this particular request. And next we have the size. So this is a combination of response body and the response headers. So if I mouse hover on this particular size, it will display all the details. So body has the 79.13 KB and response headers has a 250 bytes. So by combining that, so total it has become the 79.37. So that's all about the GET API. So let's start creating the another GET request which will returns the booking details of that particular booking ID. So now I will simply select this particular API. I will create the GET request only. Only thing is this API returns us all the booking IDs. I want to read the details of that particular booking ID by using the booking ID. So I will select this API and I will click on this particular three dots and I will say duplicate. So I will rename this particular API request by clicking on three dots and here I will select the rename. So I will specify the request name as get booking details. So this particular API will returns the any booking details by taking the ID as a parameter. So after the booking, I will use the same URL and the same request type, and after that I will specify the ID. So let us go to our get booking IDs and let's copy the one of the booking ID, and I will go back to the get booking details and I will specify the booking ID and I will click on send. So this will returns me the details: first name, last name, total price, deposit paid, booking dates. Within that we have the check-in date, checkout date, and at last we have the additional needs. So first API returns all the booking IDs and second get request which will return the specific resource details. So far you have seen how to use the get method. So now let's use the post method. By using the post method, you will create the resource in the server. So I will select the repository endpoints folder and I will click on three dots and I will select the add request. Here I'll specify the request name as create booking. Then I will select the request type as post. So here I'm creating the resource in the server, so that's the reason I have selected the post method. So here I'm specifying the URL. So we will use the same URL, that is https:// followed by the restful booker.herokuapp.com, then followed by booking. So this is about the type of request. To create the resource in the server, we need to select the type of request as a post, then the URI we have to add it, then we need to add the headers. So here you can add the content type as application/JSON. So that's it. You can come back to the body. Here you can select the raw and here you can select the JSON. Even you can send the different format of the data. It can be text file, HTML format, or even XML format also. We can send the data to the server. So in our case, we are using the only JSON file. So here we have to specify the JSON request body. I will go back to the get booking details and simply I'll copy this whole JSON object, then I'll paste it in the body. So that's it. Here I'll specify the first name as testers and last name as top. That's it. So we have the post request ready. So after clicking on this send, it is going to return us the booking ID. By using that booking ID, we can check the details are properly stored in the server or not. We can check it. So I will click on this send now. So if you look at the response now, we got the 200 status code and we got the booking ID. So let us check this resources is properly created or not. I'll copy this booking ID. I will go to the get booking details. So this particular API returns us the any booking details by taking the parameter as the booking ID, right? So simply I'll paste the booking ID here in the URL, and I will click on send. And if you look at this response, server response, we have the first name as testers, last name as top, and rest of the details I have not updated it, so it is as is. So you have seen how to create the get request and post request. So let us try to update the details which is there in the server by using the put request. To update the any resource in the server, especially for this booking API, we need to use the one token. So let us generate the token first, then we can use the put request. By using the put request, we can update the resources in the server. So I will create the one API request. I'll specify the name of the request as token generator. Then I'll select the type of request as post, and here I'll enter the URL. So I will use the same URL, and instead of booking I will say auth. Then I'll specify the header as content type as application /JSON. That's it. And we have to specify the request body for this, for generating the token. By using that token, we can update the resource in the server, and also we can delete the resource in the server. So I'll select the JSON here, then I'll specify the JSON object here. So here I'm specifying the two attributes. That is, first one is the username and second one is the password. So here I'm specifying the first attribute as username, and I'm specifying the username as admin, and second one is password as the attribute name. So all these details are there in the API. Just now whatever the API I have shown before starting this particular practical session. So you can go to this particular website, and you can find all the API details over here. So simply I'm specifying this username as admin and password as a password123 in the JSON object. And this particular API will returns the token ID. So by using that token ID, we can update the data in the server, or we can delete the data from the server. So here I'm specifying the password as password123. So that's it. I have saved the API request, then I'll send it. So at the end, it is returning me the 200 status code, and we are getting the token number. By using this token number, we can update the resource. So let's create the another put request. By using that, we can update the booking details. So currently we have this particular booking ID created. So it has some details. Let's create the one more. So this is the booking ID. So it is returning all the details perfectly fine. So we will try to update the first name and last name, and we'll see. So let me add the put request now. So I'll specify the request name as update booking. So that's it. Then I will select the request type as put. If you want to update anything in that particular resource in the server, so you need to use the put request. By using the put request, you can update the details of the any API. So here I'm specifying the same URL, that is the restful-booker.herokuapp.com and followed by booking. In the headers, I will specify the content type as application/JSON, and I will add the one cookie attribute. So that's it. In the value, so I am passing the token number over here. So just now we have discussed the one token generator API, which will generate the API. Which will generate the token number. So by taking this token number, we can pass this particular token number in the update API, so that we can update that particular resource in the server. So if you look at this URL, so still we have not passed the booking ID. So here we have to mention which booking ID we wanted to update the resource details. So that we have to mention by specifying the forward slash. So right now I'll specify 123. Later we can add the exact booking ID over there. So that's it. We have specified the request type and we have added the URL. Then we have added the header. Then we have to specify the body. So same request body I will keep it here, whichever we are using it in the while creating the resource in the server. So this is the update API. So here I'll specify the first name as specflow and last name as selenium C#. So that's it. So let us start creating the resource first, then we'll update the resource, and finally we'll check whether properly resource details is getting updated in the server or not. So I will use the create booking API and I will create the API. I will create the booking ID now by using the create booking API. So I got the booking ID here. I will take this booking ID. I will go to the booking details, get booking details, and I'll check my booking details are there in the server or not. So we have the details in the server. So now I will quickly generate the token now. I'll copy this particular token and I will go to the update booking API and I'll paste it inside the header. So that's it. Now here we have to pass the booking ID, right? So I'll go to the again get booking details. I'll copy this particular booking ID and I'll paste it here. So now I will execute the update booking API. So if you look at this one, so we got the 200 as the response code, and finally it is returning all the details, right? So let us hit the get booking details API. We should be able to see the first name as the specflow, last name as the selenium C#. So if you look at here, so we got the 200 status code and also first name and last name got updated here. So this is how you can update the resource details in the server by using the put request. So next is a delete request. Let us discuss how to delete any resource in the server. So let's add the one more request. Similarly, how we have added a put request, I will click on this particular 3 dots from the folder level and I will select the add request and I will specify the name of the request as delete booking. So here request type I will select as delete. So this is going to delete the resource from the server. So I will use the same URL and whatever the URL we are using it for the update. So this is the same URL. You might be seeing the same URL, right? So restful hyphen booker.herokuapp.com, then followed by booking. Then we are specifying the, so here we have to say which booking ID you want to delete it, right? So we have to specify the booking ID over here. And let's add the headers. So same headers we have to add it, whichever we have added into the put API for updating the resource in the server. So here you can add the content type as the application slash JSON. Then I'll add the one more attribute, that is cookies data, and here I'll specify the token equal to some value. That's it. So no need to specify the body here because we are going to directly delete this particular booking ID, right? So let us start creating the new resource, then we'll update it, then finally we'll be deleting that particular resource. So I will go to this create booking. I will create the new resource in the server now. So we got the booking ID now. I'll copy this booking ID and I'll check this booking ID details are exist or not in the server. We have this details in the server. Now we will update this particular booking ID now. So for updating, we have to generate the token. So here I'm generating the token now. I'll copy this token. I will go to this update booking API and I'll paste the token now, and that's it. So I will not update anything here. So we have already updated the few details, first name and last name. We should be able to see these two changes in the get booking details API. So just let me check out like what is the issue over here now. So let me create another request now. So we got the booking ID now. I will check whether booking details are present or not in the server. So we have the booking details present in the server. I will go to the update booking API. I'll add the booking ID here. Then I will quickly generate the token. I'll copy this particular token now. I'll go to the update booking. I'll paste it here. Then I will send it. So we got the success status code and all the details got updated. We will check quickly get booking details. So details got updated properly. So let's perform the delete operation also. So we have to specify the only booking ID and the token. So here I'll specify the token and I will copy this particular booking ID. I'll come to the delete booking and I'll specify it here. So that's it. So here we are seeing the 201 created. For the update, so we are seeing the 200 response code, status code, sorry. And for the delete request, we are seeing the 201 created. So that means that particular resource got successfully deleted. So we will go to the get booking details API and we'll verify whether that particular booking details are present or not in the server. So obviously those details will be not present, right? Because we have deleted by using the delete request type. So that's all I have in this session. So I will be covering a lot in the next API testing tutorial. So we will see how to create the negative scenarios and